Today with Cindy Castillo from the Spanish Mad Cool Festival and Bóna Márk from Sziget about major festivals, what challenges they have from the past couple of years and what lies ahead. But first, I think you probably all know that originally the plan was to talk with Tamás Kádár, the CEO of Sziget, but something very important came up last minute. So, Marka, if you can...
Yes, sure.
Where is Tamás and what is he doing?
Where is Tamás?
Right
so yes, Tamás just texted me that Marka, save me please, I can't be at the panel today. Okay, but what to do? What's going on? And he said that we are very close to sign the contract with the Superstruct, which is so it's quite breaking news. So I read you what he just sent me if it's okay.
Go for it.
So how we are standing right now is the agreement in principle has been signed with the city for long-term use of the area, which what we wanted, and I can explain it to you more detailed if we will have time, or it's
so you can start organizing the festival, basically.
Yeah, basically it means that, yeah, and because we have the long term. But why the long term is that important? That's the important detail.
Why is it important?
Because we had a contract. I mean, Superstruct had a contract with the municipality for 5 years, if I'm not wrong, and it takes till next year.
Yes.
So that's why we, as like Sziget, asked to cancel this contract, because we cannot find any investors for long term, because who wants to invest for 1 year. We wanted to find some investors for a long term, so like 10 years maybe. But in another, so to have a contract with us and not with the Superstruct, and that's what has been failed 2 days ago. So they said no, they can't cancel this contract.
I guess most of you were following the news about Sziget, so we'll talk a bit about that because it's very interesting, and then we'll talk about in general about what's going on with major festivals.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes?
There are
a new
more.
Text message?
No, there are two more things. The second is that we are finalizing our contract with Superstruct, which goes for like I don't know a month now with all the legal departments, nice ones. Which will provide independent operation and organization for the island to be taken over for Sziget to be taken. Sorry, it's a translation. So it's taken over for Sziget to be taken over by Károly Gerendai. So there will be a new company, or there is a new company owned by Gerendai, and it will be an operational company who will take care of the Sziget operation, but the Sziget name will remain in Superstruct hands. And at the same time, we will begin negotiations with supportive investors from the industry, our partners, and subcontractors to ensure long-term stable operation. So that's what he sent me via text message just like an hour ago, and then yeah. That's why I'm sitting here today.
Let's hope, for the sake of Sziget, that they find investors, because I think that's
yes. And now we are at this phase that we can find investors because we have the long-term contract for the area.
Just one more thing about this whole political craziness that went on in the past couple of days. How did you experience this? That the municipality first they voted down. I think that was Wednesday evening. They voted down the opportunity to renew Sziget's contract. And then the next day, this politician who is not even in the municipality posts a picture with Károly Gerendai saying that, yeah, we saved it. So what did you think about the whole sequence of events?
I'm sorry, but I don't want to answer to this because that wouldn't be PC.
Okay.
So
I can answer for you.
Okay, if you have an opinion, then definitely go for it.
I think for every festival organizer is knowing that we have a support not only from obviously the city, in which we actually bring a lot of money and a lot of growth to the cities when we do a music festival. So knowing that we have the support from a city, or that we have the support from investors or sponsors, it always will feel good. And if you don't have that, you obviously will be just a little bit nervous, because we operate on highly complex and businesses. Festivals are high-risk businesses. Therefore, it's very complicated to keep them going if you don't have that support.
I understand.
You feel like that?
I think you can keep the microphone. Can you just shortly introduce Mad Cool Festival? Maybe I'm not very familiar with it, so can you introduce the festival? Like, how big is it? How long has it been going on? What's the main concept of the festival?
Okay, so Mad Cool Festival has been going on for 10 years. Actually, this year is our 10th anniversary. It takes place in Madrid, in Spain, and it's a 65,000 capacity festival, 65,000 per day. We have been just, operating for 10 years, and except for the 2 years of pandemic that we couldn't actually do the festival, but it's looking good. It keeps on growing. It keeps on growing in a sustainable way, and we keep on bringing good things to our city, which I think it's important.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What do you think? What do you think you do differently than other major festivals? Because we've heard a lot of news. Just right next to you, Sziget had some economical difficulties. What do you think you do differently that makes it possible for you to keep growing and working on your festival? Oh yeah.
Yes.
They have a perfect lineup all the time. Really, that's my favorite. Every year, really.
Well, to be honest, I wish it was only the lineup. Then my life would be a lot easier. No, I think every country and every city has its own circumstances, and you need to play with the cards you've been given. Obviously, all festivals around the world, we will always do certain things that are the same for all of us, which are trying to book the best lineup, trying to offer the best experience. But in the end, what you need to do is you need to elevate everything that you have to a different level to offer the audience a new experience and to offer the audience a comfortable experience and to offer them memories that somehow will stay with them. And therefore, it's an emotional connection. It's just as if you are an artist connecting with your fans. We are a festival connecting with our audience. Therefore, we need to give them what they want and what they like so they can connect with us and stay with us, hopefully during a long period of time. I wouldn't say we do many different things. I would just say that we have good cards. Madrid is an amazing city. It's a city full of life. We have good food. We are nice people sometimes. We have sun. We have everything that a major city like London or New York has, but with the right amount of people and the right amount, it's not going to take us 1 hour and a half to get to the airport, that kind of thing. But you will still get the best shows, and you will still get all the cultural events that are happening in any other major city. So we have good cards to play with. And on top of that, Madrid is probably a city that is not expensive for a lot of European countries. So basically, if you live in Belgium or Norway and you come to Spain, you're going to spend in 1 week the same money that you would probably spend in 2 days in your own country. But you will go to a festival, you will have a great experience, you will be there. So, yeah, I think it's just that we have good cards to play with.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you see any of these the challenges of the past years that I read a lot about these, why a lot of festivals are closing down because of rising costs, inflation, COVID, etc., etc. Have you seen any of these?
Of course.
Affect you?
We are all suffering the same challenges. And these challenges are obviously production costs are over the moon for us and for the artists. It becomes more difficult nowadays after the pandemic to create a sense of urgency in the audience so they can buy tickets as soon as possible, and therefore we can have financial stability.
How has that become more difficult? Why did that become more difficult?
Well, I think pandemic changed our minds in so many ways. And people, before you would go out every summer and you would probably go to the same place because it was your place, or you would just go to whatever, the same town or the same beach, or you would just attend the same event. But after the pandemic, this has changed. People want to have new experiences, and people now value more the type of experience and the luxury of it too. So now they just don't want to live the same thing all over again. They want to experience different things every year. The good thing, one year they will go to Mad and the next year they will go to Sziget. But it also creates an unpredictable audience, and therefore the challenge of unpredictability for festivals, not only in ticket sales but only but also in everything. We need to constantly adapt every day to what's happening. Before I could say, oh, I'm selling whatever 700 tickets a day. Yeah, this is a constant, and I know I'm gonna sell a lot when I announce the lineup, and I'm gonna sell a lot 2 months before the festival. Now it's completely different. Now we just don't know. Maybe you announce a lineup and the sales remain like this, and then suddenly something happens and goes like this, and then they go like this, and then the graphics are just crazy. So it's unpredictable right now until everything settles back again, which hopefully will be soon.
Marka, you were nodding a lot. How did you experience these changes in the past couple of years?
Yeah, there are many things has changed because it was so with Sziget. Sziget has a very international audience. Locals say that it's only for foreigners. It's not. It's really untrue. So it's more than half of, so like 53% of the visitors came from Hungary. So it's something like 120,000 people, individuals
this year.
From Hungary this year. So it's a lot. It's more than half of the visitors are coming from Hungary. But as a very international major festival, it was in the past years, like before pandemic, the flights were cheap, the ticket price was cheap, the food and beverages was cheap for the, like, say, for Western European people. Now the flights are expensive, the ticket price are pretty much the same, food and beverage is pretty much the same like in Western Europe. So why would they come? So we have to convince them with our vibe, so the Sziget vibe, what you were talking about, that it's not only the lineup, of course. It's just I have never been to Met Cool, but I would really like to go. I'm always checking the lineup. And
checking your lineup.
yeah, okay. so I really like the selection, and it's not only the lineup, but we can sell tickets for the lineup, mainly for the locals. So from people from Budapest or from Hungary, they're coming to see the headliners, just like a stadium show. They're coming to see the headliner leaving. We would like to keep them on the festival. And so it has changed because of so after the pandemic and because of inflation and everything, prices are super high. So like, I would not say that 20 years ago, a headliner was something like cost 100,000 euro. Now it's close to 1 million, or at least 1 million. So it's 10 times, or 2 million. So it's a lot of money.
Is it worth it though?
No, of course not.
But then you still
yeah, but you can't.
Rihanna and
but we cannot afford. Yeah, we have a loss. So that it's.
So in the past couple of years, you realized that it's not worth it because you don't get that much more.
It has, it worth it. Yeah, it have to
because of Rihanna and the others.
It worth it, but we cannot sell that many tickets. Yeah. So what is the budget is, so the program budget, the 80% of the program budget goes to book 6 bands, and the rest 20% to book 490 bands.
Wow.
Acts, let's say, because including DJs, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you plan on bringing these kind of big headliners next year also? Or?
Yeah, but we have to, because we have to sell tickets, we have to have announcement, we have to have visibility.
So it doesn't work in any other way?
No, because we need those 90,000 people per day or to be there. But the thing is that the prices are so high, the costs are so high, production, petrol, workforce, everything is really high, the price, but we couldn't rise up the ticket prices accordingly. So we cannot sell the tickets for, I don't know, 1,000 euro.
what do you think, Cindy? How do you do this at Mad Cool Festival? Do you have these really big names also?
Yes, we do.
Can you give me an example? Who was your headliners? Like 2 of the headliners this year? So we get a sense.
You know something? I've been booking this new edition. I can't even remember the headliners I had last year.
You can tell us the next edition. I don't know if that's public yet.
We haven't announced it yet. Last year we had... who did we have last year? Oh my God, I already erased this from my mind. We had Noah Kahan. We had Benson Boone. We had Alanis Morissette. We had 9 Inch Nails. We had... I don't know. Can you check? I can't even remember.
Names.
Yeah,
big names.
I completely forgot my lineup. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we normally have big headliners. I always like to say that it's a joke, but it's not a joke. If we sell all the tickets of the festival, all of them, we will only pay the fees. So that's how the business works. You can do the maths. So basically, I think what he was trying to say is, obviously, if paying these high fees was worth it, we would all be making a lot of money. But it is not the case, really. But sometimes you need to keep the business going, not only because obviously there's families, that have to pay mortgages and that have kids and that live off your festival or that live off any other tours that you're doing, but also because this is a chain. If there are no festivals, there are no stage providers, there are no backline providers, there are no security. There's a lot of other services that earn money from festivals. And also, if there are no festivals, there is no impact in the local economy. In our case, Mad Cool leaves 65 million euros in the city in 4 days. And this is not something that we just made up. We have like PricewaterhouseCoopers auditing us every year after the festival. So when you have an event that leaves 65 million euro in the city, you need to take care of that event because it impacts directly and indirectly in the growth of the economy. Mm-hmm. So we might not be making money, we might be losing money. But of course, sometimes we lose, sometimes we don't, sometimes we're even. It depends. It's a risk. This is the perks of being an entrepreneur, I guess. Mm. But you need to keep the business going because this is what it's all about. It's about generating economy, generating impact, and generating culture.
Okay, but then if a big company, what's the American company that bought Sziget? RKK? No, but there is this parent company. I'm not sure. Yeah, that one. So if a company like that buys the festival, then they will not feel responsible for all these things that Cindy talked about. Am I correct? And then when they see that it's not bringing enough cash, they'll just do what they did to Sziget.
I think that's your opinion.
No, I'm asking.
I haven't asked them.
But no, my question basically is, from what I understand, what you said, that it's not really a big business for making festivals, as I understand from you.
One day it might be a big business. One day it might not be. That is what happens when you are building a business. That, I wish. Forget about festivals. Hamburgers. If I was selling hamburgers, I would build my business, invest my money, and maybe I spent 3 years without making any money in my hamburger company. And maybe on the 4th year, suddenly I now have a brand, I have awareness, people love my hamburgers, and they have decided that they are the best ones in Madrid, and suddenly I start making a lot of money. And maybe 3 years after, I get 2 other competitors with best hamburgers that have a new recipe, and my business starts going down again. That is what happens when you have a business.
Okay, I understand.
It's never steady.
So you talked a lot about connection and building connection, how that's important to kind of have a connection with the attendees of the festival. How much work goes into that? Like, obviously, the festival's main goal is to attract musicians, headliners, etc. But then compare the work of bringing in artists to creating a space that people feel like going to, that and have a connection to. Because as I understand, this has been one of the things that you've been working on in the past couple of years, and this is what changed from, let's say, 10, 15 years ago, when festivals didn't have this much of an image to themselves. They didn't feel this much need to show another side than just the music.
I think Sziget was always like this. So on the first Sziget in 1993, there was a main stage and the theater. So it was always like this. There were always something additional, other kind of art, other kind of attractions, circus, street theater, whatever, to make it colorful. The vibe was just this peaceful environment where you can be yourself and so on. And we used that vibe to promote the festival. But even though we need headliners to sell tickets, so it hasn't changed. But in this year, Superstruct agreed to spend more money on decoration, and I think it helped a lot because it was beautiful. Really, because what if you have a budget problem, what would be the first one what you cut is the decoration. It could be ugly, but the people will be there, toilet will be there, there will be good sound, and I don't know, artists will perform. That it's okay. That's a festival already. But you can save money on decoration. But now we didn't save money on decoration. We made it really tidy. It was really nice, and you know, because of social media, people started to post, and then more daily tickets we could sell because people wanted to see this, how it goes. So we have to keep that, but we don't know about our budget for the next years. But we have to keep this very, very nice environment.
You actually measure that somehow, that because of the decorations and the, I don't know, Instagram stories, then the daily tickets sales.
It's really hard to measure it. It's just.
But you got a sense that this was helping.
Yeah, and there are surveys and so on. So there, we have many information about that.
I was going to say, this actually surveys are very interesting. We do a survey after every festival, and we get like 20,000 people that reply to it. And for example, in the past 2 years, people have asked to have less stages. We used to have 8 stages, and now we are going to 5 stages this year because they have asked that they want less stages, they want more space and longer shows, for example. So, you know, sometimes you try to understand, or you think you understand what people want, and then you are actually surprised by how they experience your event, and you just need to adapt and keep on trying new things until you find the thing that works the best. It's about, I don't know if you say this in English, but in Spanish it would translate something like proof and error, or like essay and error. You know, it's like you need to keep on proving things or doing things until one of them works. But if you don't try, you'll never know.
Do you know exactly what was the reason behind people wanting less stages and longer shows? Did you get an explanation about this?
They expressed that they wanted to have more space, meaning like more space to sit down in the grass or to just hang around, and that they wanted to experience longer shows because they understand now that is a higher quality experience, that the artist, instead of playing 45 minutes, 50 minutes, gets to do the full show as if they were going to a headline show.
Mm-hmm. Marka?
What would you like in a festival?
What would I like in a festival?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't planning to answer.
Sorry, never been.
Didn't prepare.
Have you been in Sziget?
Yeah, I've been to Sziget, but only for one day.
So what would you like?
What would I like? Less people. But I mean...
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
But then that's higher prices. Are you willing to pay higher price?
Yeah, I'm a journalist, so I never really paid.
Life is easy.
I was working though.
I just wanted to tell that we not only have surveys, but we started a program like Meet the Team, and we have it's a free brunch, like a breakfast. It's very painful, 10 a.m. And we have a T-shirt, like Sziget T-shirt with our role, so like booker, production, whatever. And we are just having breakfast together with the visitors. And they come to us. We are sitting down. We're having a conversation, and we are making notes, taking notes of their opinions and ideas. And there was one couple. They came back from the last year, and they said that all what they said has been done, and thank you for that.
And what were those things?
I don't remember, but it's just I don't know. I really don't know. But it's great that they felt that they have word on the changes, and it's good to have something like this to feel the festival as it's their festival.
Yeah, I guess that's a great way to build connection with the people that go there.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to be in the team if Sziget happens next year, and it seems like it will. You're going to be in the team that works on it. So what do you know? Like, what would you do differently from this year, for example?
I don't know, because there will be
ideas.
Yeah, there will be kind of a good a new management, maybe with some advisors.
Okay, but let's say you can do whatever you like. Don't think
what
about
I would do personally.
What would you do if you had no constraints, no money constraint, no nothing? You could just do the perfect festival.
I can tell what I would change. It's not official opinion of Sziget, but I would book one stadium-sized act for a 0 day, sell 100,000 tickets or 60,000 tickets.
So that's like, I don't know, Coldplay or something like that.
Yeah, Coldplay or Rihanna or so something big like Coldplay, for example. Or
And Sziget has been doing this for the past couple of years, as far as I remember, right?
Yes, but I would have one big act for the 0 day, nothing else happening, and then on the previous days there would be like a bit smaller names, so we could still sell weekly tickets, including the 0 day, but we would sell all the daily tickets what we would like to sell for the 0 day. Because I think that would be a good solution, and that we would save money. But then if we just check the production side, then in this case we would have built the same main stage with the same very expensive production parts, lights and visuals and everything, and we would not use it that much for the rest of the days than on the first day for the headliner or the main headliner. But it's just one idea. It's my idea, so it's my opinion, not official Sziget opinion.
Okay.
Off the record.
How about you, Cindy? Do you have like dreams that you really would like to accomplish when organizing the festival, but for some reason
Dreams and
some reason it's just you can't?
limitless amount of money.
Okay, but just give us a couple examples. Like what?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about dreams and all the money in the world, I would probably get Daft Punk back together or something, or invest in nanogenetic technology and resuscitate Michael Jackson. I don't know. Well, we are adapting. We are actually making changes this year. As I said, we're removing one more stage. We used to have 2 main stages of 65,000 each, plus a third stage of 25,000. And we are actually, after the survey, we are removing one of the main stages. So we're only leaving one of 65,000 people. And we are going to, let's say, include other experiences that I cannot reveal. And I think I wouldn't. I mean, I think we're pretty happy with how our festival is laid out currently, and I think people are happy too. I can't think of any drastic measure I would take in terms of changing it. But well, I guess if I had all the money in the world, I would probably, I don't know, build a beach next to it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds great. Also Daft Punk. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a bit about smaller festivals. In the past, I don't know, decade, in Hungary, I've seen a lot of new small festivals that have like a certain genre that they focus on. How did you experience this? Is this happening in Spain also? That there are a lot of new little festivals, and how is this affecting your big festival?
Well, we would first need to define what a festival is. Okay, because
Okay, then help me out.
because for example, in Spain, if you talk with the organizations, they will say, yeah, there's 1,000 festivals in Spain, but they're counting as festivals events that last 1 month and they have 2 acts per day, or they are counting as festivals when you put 3 bands together. So, I mean, we will need to define that.
Well, from what I think is that it really matters if, from the perspective of the person that decides to go either to your festival or to this other event that we might call festival or not. So I think that's how you define these events that are kind of competing for the money of the attender.
Well, I would say in Spain, I would say there's room for everything.
Okay.
And there's audience for every type of experience. And to be honest, the more successful events that we have, the better for everyone else. If you have a smaller festival of whatever, 5,000 people per day, and you are successful, people might be interested in my festival, and vice versa. If I have a 65,000 event and I sell the tickets constantly and people are having a good experience, they might want to explore your smaller festival too. So my take on that would just be, I'm happy that there's more events, smaller, medium, large size, and you know, the better it goes to it for everyone, the better it goes for me too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good, and I really believe there is future for smaller festivals, smaller events, because as you said, you want to have less people. I know a festival where the capacity is 250. I've been to a festival where it was maybe 200 people maximum, and we had breakfast together on the festival, including the ticket price. And it was very like a family. They were shouting like, "The next show is starting on the stage. Let's go there." So it's a totally different environment, totally different experience. But I think it's necessary to have smaller festivals as well, like local festivals. So people they don't need to travel. For example, I know it's not about sustainability this panel, but at Sziget, the 80% of our carbon footprint is coming from the visitors who has a flight to Sziget. It's a lot, and we encourage them to come by car or train or join their forces and come together. But I went to something like more than 10 smaller festivals this year as a kind of a study tour, mainly in Hungary. But I went to Electric Castle, but I was in Ozora and Be My Lake and Campus, and it was really great to experience a festival as a visitor.
And did you get any inspiration for?
Of course.
Can you give
good and bad examples as well?
Give us something.
Sometimes on a small festival there are too many stages and you can hear everything all the time. Sometimes the decoration is not perfect. Sometimes it's amazing. So like at Ozora you can spend 10 days and it's like it's a totally different world. That was my first time this year, so it was something. Maybe I will spend more days next year. But there are very good examples, and some bad examples, like because of like crowd control, crowd management, and yeah, there are many things. It's another.
Do you remember going to a festival and seeing something like this I want, this we should do, and this is a great idea?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Like,
I don't know. So I always wanted to have at Sziget. I always wanted to have like a secret stage. What we don't really announce, we don't.
You did have that 2 years ago. No, there was this toilet. If you
yeah, but
inside,
that's a
there was
gig.
secret
But
party.
it takes for 2 days. Then it's not a secret anymore. But I would like to have like we just announce a meeting point, and we will take you there.
Okay.
And we don't tell the program. So there were some ideas like this. That's why I love Electric Castle. That's one of my favorite festivals because there are more stages than at Sziget. It's just hard to find. But that's amazing.
Cindy, how about you? Do you go to small festivals to?
I love, they're my favorite. I only go to small festivals, in fact. Yes. I mean, I go to small festivals because it's the kind of experience I personally like. And I get to enjoy things better. But yeah, I mean, I'm guessing what you're asking if I've seen something that I would like to copy on small festivals.
Can you get inspiration from a small?
Of course. I mean, a lot of it actually, because deep inside, small festivals are like the beginning of the things, you know, where it's like a, how can I explain this? It's like an untouched moment in.
They have less constraint, I guess, when organized.
Yeah, exactly, and so they get to do things that are more soul driven, which I think is nice too, and I enjoy that. Sometimes, you know, we are in a very high part of the chain, and I think we forget the romanticism in the smaller events, which is also nice to experience.
Yeah, I guess that must be really difficult when you're working with such a big project, a lot of money, and then thinking about, but this is also about, as you said, romanticism and the soul.
Yes, I mean you can still have that, but sometimes it's just not the right environment. You know, for example, I went to my favorite festival in the world, which is in New Zealand, and it's called Explore, and it's in this beautiful land which has a mountain, and then it has turquoise water, and the stage is in the middle, and the land is of the Maoris. And when you get there, before they open the doors, the Maoris go there and they pray for the land and for the festival, and they do all these hata things, and that's beautiful. I love it. Like, I was there, and the experience is amazing. Can I translate that experience to Madrid? No. Can I translate such a spiritual, you know, thing or energetic thing to a land in the middle of the city in Madrid? No. So sometimes, you know, every event, as I said before, has its own cards to play with. And some things work in a small festival and they would never work in a big one, and vice versa.
Yeah, an opening ceremony is always a nice thing, but it's really hard to arrange it. Also, with the smaller local festivals, so I've been to Campus in Debrecen, I've been to Scene at Sziget, I've been to Sopron Fest, so it's local, so like everybody have to be there from the city. So it's like a meeting point, everybody's there, you must be there. And that's it's a big difference according to major festivals and international festivals. So what is local, it's it's for the town. They own it. They love it. They want to support it. They want to meet there. It's a big difference between other festivals.
Yeah, I guess Sziget was like this for Budapest for the first couple of years, and then it just got really big, and it's sort of
maybe it's like
something else.
Yeah, I would say there are people who meet at Sziget, but it's a great opportunity to meet with international people and making friends. which is happening. It's always something.
Okay, our time is up. I was thinking of a good question to close with Mark because Sziget, it's such a current issue. Like, I don't know, are you going to be selling tickets soon or what?
Yeah, that's it. So now it seems that we are really close to have the green light.
Nice.
So maybe we will come out we will release the after movie from this year, which is really nice. It's very well made, and we can start selling tickets, which we are really late. So we used to start to sell tickets right after the festival, which is more than 2 months now.
And do you have any big headliner in mind?
Not in mind.
Already booked? Just can you give us an?
Yeah, of course we can't stop working. It's easier to cancel someone than.
Okay, can you give us something?
No.
No. Okay. No. Well, thank you very much. For being here. Thank you for listening and looking. I was talking with Cindy Castillo and Bóna Márk from Sziget and Mad Cool Festival.
No questions from people. No questions.
Oh, do you guys have questions? Maybe I don't know. Our time was up, but if why not? Let's go.
Hi, just to go back to the remark regarding the definition of festival. Originally from the Latin word festivalis, it's a religious celebration and also goes back to the word feasting. So festival in itself, feasting, religious holiday. So as to your point, it would be very impossible in Madrid to bring in some, and from Canada as well. So this whole thinking of the land of native, that would be probably a bit odd to do in Madrid. But I think it is important that we, as music industry professional and people, ask ourselves, what is the definition of a festival in the music context? Because there's a big liability linked to hosting a festival. And what I've seen in our territory is that people call themselves festivals when they're a gathering of 200 people and don't have the proper sanitary infrastructure in place. And they do end up taking that $300, $400, $500 from that participant to attend that gathering, which that money could have gone to something more established or something more secure. So there is a question to be asked. How do we define a festival on the production side for safety purposes?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry. If there is so if you have to say what is a festival, it's very simple. It takes more days and/or have more stages. That's all. It's a festival.
Hey, I'm from France, from Paris, and there's lots of festivals in France, and there's a big concern in the festivals for the last few years is the competition with arena shows in the summer, especially in Paris. Do you see that in your towns happening? And it looks like there is a big competition with between Live Nation, AEG, who's putting huge arena shows, and it's taking out festival goers. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's it. We are suffering of this because for many years, because they are making much more money with the stadium tour. They can do whatever they want. They have their own production. They can sell tickets. They can double or triple the show in a town if it goes well. So it's a lot of money what they can earn. So they don't come to festivals. There are a couple of bands who are. I think it's very fair how they do it. For example, Imagine Dragons. They have a stadium show, then on the next or the other year they have a festival tour. That's fair. So they can serve, they can collect fans on the festivals who will buy tickets for the stadium show next year. It's reasonable, but there are many acts who know that there are many big acts who cannot be afforded by any festivals like Taylor Swift or Adele. It's not doable anymore.
But do they play during the same time?
No, not really. Let's say, but no, not really. So I think everybody has a calendar, so we are taking care of each other. So Live Nation doesn't do any stadium shows under the Sziget, most likely, or if they want, they try to sell that band for us. That's how we had Rihanna, for example.
Yeah, I mean, we are definitely competing against headline shows. And, well, actually, we are not competing. We can't. We just can't compete because it's the perfect scenario for a band. As he was saying, they make more money. You have no production issues. You don't have to share a stage. You don't have to share lights. You don't have to share structures. Nothing, absolutely anything. So we can't compete with that. But at the same time, festivals are what keeps the industry alive in a very important way, because festivals are the place where you get to discover a lot more things that otherwise you wouldn't. With headline shows, you will always have an opening act, but that's it. If you go to a festival 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, you might actually discover another 5 bands that you didn't even know they existed, but they will be the next Foo Fighters, you know? So there's a will and a knowledge in the industry about this. Therefore, it's important for festivals to keep on producing themselves, but also having headline shows, because we all know that this is the way for newcomers to actually emerge and to grow, rather than just having headline shows. I don't know if I'm explaining myself. I hope I am,
Right.
but
And we can also grow some bands.
yes.
Yeah, for like many times we have bands performing on a smaller stage than a bigger one, than maybe on the main stage. We will have this year a couple of those.
So what came to my mind is that you said that festivals are sort of a way to discover new music. But do you think that this also changed in the past 10 years with streaming and all the algorithms giving us the playlists and showing us new music, if it's showing us new music? So do you think that might also be a reason for people being less keen to go to a festival? Because, yeah, I can just go on my phone and there is like endless music there.
I think it's two different things. I mean, one thing is to listen to music, and another thing is to experience music. And we're living in an era where people listen to music and they don't even know who's singing. You know, they open TikTok, they like 15 seconds of a song, everyone is using it, but they know nothing about the artist. They don't even know their name, if he has 4 albums, 5, whatever. A perfect example is, for example, when Matt Cool, when we announced Benson Boone, there was a lot of people saying, no, we want a headline show because he in a festival, he won't be able to do all his show. And we were thinking, he only has 10 songs. Like, you know, of course he will be able to do the entire show because he can't do more than that. But what I mean is, it's two different experiences. Listening to music is one thing, experiencing a live show is a different thing, and it depends on each person whether they want to actually cross the line and go to a show or not. So you can discover music, and you can discover live shows, and you can discover how the music you stream is different in a live show. So, yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Danny, the CEO of Paloznaki Jazz Picnic. It's a small festival here in Hungary at Lake Balaton. We had like 22,000 visitors in 3 days this year. I want to ask you about the weekly passes versus daily tickets. Honestly, as a small festival, I truly believe in daily tickets. People don't want to partying whole week, just one day. They spend more at the bar, more at the merch shop. So what do you think? What's the ideal ratio of weekly passes versus daily tickets? I know everyone's dream to being sold out before the artist announcement, but nowadays it's maybe it's just a dream, except Glastonbury.
Well, for a start, I wouldn't call your festival small if you sell 22,000 tickets, okay?
In 3 days, in 3 days.
It's still 22,000 tickets is a lot of tickets. I think, well, the way we do this is we sell a limited amount of weekend passes. So I'm making this up, but let's say we have 65,000 tickets per day. We're going to sell a maximum of, let's say, 25,000 3-day passes. For us, it works like that because our audience or the audience in Spain is very eclectic. So we can have, let's say, Metallica one day and Dua Lipa on the next day. And the audience actually wants to consume both acts. So it works well. But I think it depends on how your audience behaves and what they like, the way you will sell your tickets.
Sorry, which percent is the limitation? You said you have a limitation.
Yeah, I said, I mean, it depends on the year, but normally it's going to be, let's say, if we have 65,000 tickets per day, it's going to be 25,000 in weekend passes.
Okay, thank you.
I think it depends on the length of your festival. So Sziget is 6 or 7 days. We had before 7 days, then 6. So we started to sell 3 days tickets and of course weekly passes. But yes, there are not that many people who would like to stay in a camping, spending a lot of money on the festival for food and beverages. I don't know the percentage. So like we had the aim to sell 100,000 daily tickets. That was a number what we wanted to have. But of course, we need we have to rely on the weekly passes and those people who are spending their time there, their whole week. And the daily tickets are depending on the headliner mainly, and sometimes it's very good to have these 3 days passes, and there are like 2 rap acts or 3 rap acts they would like to see, for example. So there are connections on those 2 days or 3 days what they want to see, but I don't know what would be the balance.
Yeah, it also depends a lot on the acts you end up having. For example, I mean, it's not the case, but let's say I have Metallica one day and 9 Inch Nails the other day and whatever, Arctic Monkeys the other day. Because those are the headliners I was able to secure this year. I might sell more weekend passes because I know the audience will like all the bands across the entire weekend. It depends. Every year is going to change. If one year I have Taylor Swift and Metallica and, I don't know, Kings of Leon, then I might say, I think it's going to be better to sell more day tickets because the audience will not cross over during the 3 days. So I need to give them more options to audience for them to have, you know, different options so they can buy the ticket that they want. It just depends. You need to analyze every year what you have and what your audience wants.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our time is up. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see.